Thomas John Boyle was born in 1948 in Peekskill, New York, a town situated in the Hudson Valley north of New York City. He grew up in a working-class household, his father a school custodian and a bus driver, and his mother employed as a school secretary. Both died relatively early from alcohol-related health problems, but Boyle has said of them in a New York Times interview, "They were good parents. They gave me support and love." At 17, Boyle changed his name to Thomas Corrigesson as a way to distinguish himself and to honour one of his mother's Irish ancestors. There were few books in his childhood home, yet Boyle's parents encouraged him to do well in school. His idea, however, was to make music his career. Upon his graduation from high school, he entered the State University of New York with the intention of pursuing a music major, but unfortunately failed his audition on the saxophone for the music program. He wound up writing a play for one class that was well received, and the experience sparked his interest in writing as a career. After graduating from university in 1968 with a double major in history and English, Boyle drifted for several years. He followed his original passion by playing in a rock band, coping with life via substance using heroin. A friend's overdose convinced him to kick his own habit, and he became a high school teacher at his alma mater. A story he wrote about his drug-dependent period, the OD and Hepatitis Railroad or Bust, was published in the North American Review and helped him land a spot in the prestigious Writers' Workshop and MFA program at the University of Iowa. His teachers there included acclaimed American novelists John Irving and John Cheever, and he stayed on after earning his graduate degree to pursue a doctorate in literature and serve as fiction editor of the Iowa Review. Boyle earned his MFA from the Iowa Writers' Workshop in 1974 and his PhD degree in 19th century British literature in 1977. He has been a member of the English department at the University of Southern California since 1978. T.C. Boyle has published 30 novels and more than 60 short stories, including his most recent novels, Outside Looking In, 2019, Talk to Me, 2021, and I Walk Between the Raindrops, 2022. He won the PEN/Faulkner Award in 1988 for his third novel, World's End, which recounts 300 years in upstate New York. Many of Boyle's novels and short stories explore the baby boom generation, its appetites, joys, and addictions. Boyle's themes, such as the often misguided efforts of the male hero and the slick appeal of the anti-hero, appear alongside brutal satire, humour, and magic realism. As well, Boyle's fiction explores the ruthlessness and the unpredictability of nature and the toll human society unwittingly takes on the environment. Boyle's work has been compared to Mark Twain's for its mixture of humour and social exploration. But let's finish with a few words from the man himself on the nature of art. I've never really been met with indifference, where they say, "Who cares?" I think that's what good art is supposed to do. It's not supposed to make you feel good about your own prejudices and your own values. It's supposed to open you up in some way and get you outraged, or make you happy, or make you sad, or whatever it's going to do.
Well, hello, my friends, and welcome. I am here in California, Montecito, to thank you so much for the great honor of giving me the iBAM Award in Literature for my life's work, which is ranged here behind me on the mantelpiece. It's especially important to me because of my Irish heritage. I know I'm Irish because all day long, every day, words are singing in my head. Now, of course, it could possibly mean that I'm just schizophrenic, but I do believe It's an indication that my ancestry links me to Beckett and Joyce and Bernard Shaw and all the Yeats, the great, great, great Irish writers of the world. My grandmother was a MacDonald on my mother's side, and my father, his father, was born in Dublin, so he claimed, and he did have a lovely lilting Irish brogue to prove it. Except when he was in his cups, of course, when it wasn't so lilting and lovely. I will say that a few years back, my wife submitted her DNA to 23andMe to see what her ancestry is, and she convinced my younger son to submit his as well. She came out 0% Irish, and my son came out 46%. And so, doing the math, that gives me a pretty good idea of my own ancestry. Finally, this beret I'm wearing, which I've worn in Paris and Barcelona and other beret-friendly places, is not a product of France, but rather of Ireland from the time when I lived in Lochine House, just out of Skibbereen, and let those words dance in my head all day long, some of which made it onto paper. So again, I thank you so much.